Pro-ISIS leaflets said to be found in London, asking Muslims to join their merry band of death cretins. Which makes me miss the good old days when it was the Hare Krishnas handing out the leaflets. The worst thing they did was chant, there was never a beheading. So these flyers aren't about finding peace or even pizza. They're offering a way out for bitter weirdos, a promise of revenge in an evil world. Not that I care. If you want to join a death cult, go ahead. I hope you die in a cloud of dust. Which is why, when one asks if these leaflets should be stopped, I say never. We need this activity out in the open because recruitment does us a big favor. It gets the evil out of our country. If radical Islamists leave to fight in Iraq or Syria or Afghanistan, that's far better than the reverse. I'd rather America fight them over there, obliterating these terrorists into a sticky paste, than have them decapitating citizens here in the street. ISIS could be their magnet, a glorious roach motel that attracts the very worst of this planet, where they die in large groups. Of course, this all depends on whether the West is willing to do the dirty work to keep them from returning. Because for every time we say no boots on the ground, you can hear the footsteps of their boots right behind us. What? What does that mean?
Somebody told me that it's awkward after your monologues if we don't say anything, but it's really because we just need a moment to absorb the brilliance.
Oh, thank you.
That's why I was trying to fill the silence.
So can you speak for yourself?
Bob, what do you have? What was wrong with it?
I think this handing out these pamphlets is a good example of a group like Subway trying to get people to come get that ISIS.
Are you calling Subway terrorists?
Yes, they are.
Oh, they're
beautiful. Have you eaten any of their food?
Their food is great.
They probably advertise, and I'm in trouble again. But you know, the fact that ISIS, no organized group goes out and hands out pamphlets on the street. Number one. Number two, we've already driven them out of two. They've been driven out of two towns by the Kurds. They've been driven out of another town near the mountains. These are guys that, when they're confronted with people who have guns, are not nearly as big a crowd as people think. And I will repeat my point: they are the JV.
Dana, you are having flashes.
I'm having a hot flash of anger.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
I think that when the 9/11 Commission comes out a decade after their original report and says America is more complacent than ever before 9/11, I think that it is a serious problem. Do you remember, Greg, when the soldier in Britain was executed in the street?
Yes.
Okay, it was a beheading.
Yes.
All right. Then the soldiers in Britain were told, do not wear your uniforms outside because you don't want to offend anybody. So I agree. I'm glad the leaflets are being handed out. I think that it actually is organized, and I think it's propaganda that has to be fought combat to combat. I'm for that.
Eric, are the leaflets a big deal?
They are. Well, no, I think you're right. I think they have. We need to see that this goes on. But I will tell you, Bobby, I'm going to take the other side of it. They're not JV. They're not. It's not just leaflets. They have a sophisticated PR wing. They're putting out videos that are amazingly produced.
Not hard to do in this day and age.
What?
Is it?
No. But no one else is. How's this? They have a better PR wing than the White House has. That's how good they are. They could probably take
that might be the case, but I would.
No. You really need to spend some time. I mean, these are videos that they're training. No, I'm sorry, the recruiting videos. They're unbelievable. They make it seem like they're on this beautiful mission to save the world of all the ills of the Western
by beheading
people. And you don't see any of that, though. You don't see the beheadings and the savagery and the kids hanging on crosses and things like that. Out of control, good, and they're definitely not the JV.
Well, in absence of, has anybody heard the vaunted Iraqi military say one thing? No. Well, not one.
We'll stick.
I heard our defense secretary yesterday say in front of Marines that this is a terrorist threat like the world has never seen.
I heard that, and
I don't think that is necessary.
The five of us could go marching through an area with nobody shooting at us and hurt people. And I want to know where. I keep coming back to where is this vaunted Iraqi military?
No organized group can pass out leaflets on the street. There's an organized group of palm readers on the Upper West Side.
That's right, which is exactly what I think these guys are.
Palm readers, a little bit different. They cut off people's palms. They cut off the palms of children.
I understand that. But
and I would love to know, if you think they're JV, who is the A team then? Who are the really elite terrorists? No. Let me finish. Who are the elite terrorists if these guys are JV? What do you consider being elite? Because they're beheading people, they're killing women, they're killing children. I just want to know, who does it better than they do?
I think the Navy SEALs are elite. I think these guys are the JV.
Well,
I think they're stupid.
So are they allowed to go in
I
and
think they're
kill
stupid.
them?
I think that they're going through through these areas with no opposition whatsoever. Anybody could do that without opposition. Who opposed them?
What do you mean opposition? They're not going to be able to take Baghdad. They'll get pushed back like they've never seen before.
Well, there you go. Then they're not that big a deal, are they?
But they've been very successful at taking other regions.
Other regions, because the Baghdad military, the Iraqi military has not been there to stop them, has it?
That is such a just a false way of looking at it, Bob.
Why is it false?
I don't know who you're protecting. Are you trying to protect President Obama?
No, I'm not trying to protect
defending?
anybody. I'm not.
I don't understand. How in the world can you say that these people are JV when the defense secretary says it's a terrorist group like the world has never seen?
Well, first of all, I think that's vastly overstated.
How do you know? Defense secretary sits there in the Situation Room every day. He gets all the information, and it's his job to say in front of the Marines what he thinks. I just want to know, like, where do you get your information that you can sit here and tell the American people that it's not a big deal?
Then you give me this. You explain to me where the Iraqi military is.
I don't care where the Iraqi military is.
Why don't you care? We spent hundreds of millions of dollars to train them.
No, Bob, because that is not the subject. The subject is about the terrorists. I could argue about the Iraqi. You want to do the next segment?
And it's not just
get rid of mine and talk about the Iraqi army. That's not what we were here to talk about.
Well, if you have a military, supposedly a tough bunch of people, yes, they can cut hands off, and we don't have a single person up against them except for the United States Air Force, then of course they're going to march across. Once they hit resistance, they backed off.
No, that is okay.
The Kurds drove them out of 2 towns, and they were driven out of a town yesterday.
I'm sure the American people are very comforted to know that Bob thinks that the terrorists are not important, but the defense secretary thinks it's the worst terrorist organization the world has ever seen.
Do not walk down your street and worry about your head being chopped off,
Didn't they just take more towns in Syria?
What?
They just took a couple more towns.
I'm talking about Iraq.
Oh, okay,
but they started in Syria, which is hence the name ISIS in Syria.
I think they
that
changed
is where they started,
I think they changed
and it all goes right back to the president and his false red line in Syria.
I think it. Well, I agree with you on that.
Bob, they're growing. They're recruiting.
They're calling themselves the Islamic State, but I still want to know where the people who know guts, where the Iraqis are, who will not fight.
All right.
It's a totally different thing.
And we're tired of spending our money for you lousy soldiers if you're not willing to fight.
Okay, Bob. Here we go. President Obama is making a mysterious trip back to D.C. in the middle of his vacation. That was fun. It's shrouded in secrecy, but Dana thinks she might know what it's about if she doesn't kill Bob during the break.